Thank you for not having that facing us.
It's all right.
Do you want to get one quick one with Rachel?
I'd be happy
Want
to.
to do after the ceremony?
We can do it right now. I'm just
Okay.
going to turn on the music. And
Okay.
Freaks me out when I can see the TV.
Does it really?
I hate watching myself.
God, give thanks to God with a song. Oh, sing praises unto the one of all. Let us rejoice, all ye righteous, and cry out to our God with joy. Sing out from your hearts. Oh, sing praises to God. medley of Arise My Love, Anima Amin, and Dodili. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rise up, my love, my fair one, and come away. For lo, the winter's past, and the rain is gone. The flowers appear on earth, the time of singing is come, and the voice of the turtle is heard. The fig tree bringeth forth her green figs, and the vines in blossom bring forth their fragrance. Arise, arise, my love, my fair one, come away. Arise, my love, come away. 1, 2, 3, 4. Anima mi, emuna shlema, Bibiat HaMashiach. Anima mi, anima mi. Emuna shlema, ואף על פי שיתמלא, עם כל זה אני מאמין, עם כל זה. דודי לי, ואני לא הרואה, בשושנים. מזאת עולמים המדבר, מקוטרת מורות לעונה, אני לדודי ודודי, דודי לי. דודי לי, ואני לא הרואה, בשושנים. וריצפונו גויים תימן, וריצפונו גויים תימן, אני לדודי ודודי, דודי לי, ואני לא הרואה, בשושנים. אני לדודי ודודי לי, אני לדודי ודודי לי, אני לדודי ודודי, דודי לי, דודי לי, דודי לי. From the book of Joel, and the old shall dream dreams, and the youth shall see visions. And the old shall dream dreams, and the youth shall see visions, and our hope shall rise up to the sky. We must live for today, we must build for tomorrow. Give us time.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom and welcome. Welcome to our bat mitzvah, Rachel, as you celebrate this wonderful day. And it's wonderful to be here together with a few friends and family. And of course, we welcome everybody participating via our YouTube. Do we have? Yeah. We're good? Okay, perfect. Thank you. So we welcome everybody who is participating via YouTube, enabling us to be together and to create this sacred space, this space that we create when we are praying together and celebrating together. And I know Rachel's been eager to celebrate today. Yeah? Okay. So we'll turn together to page 188, and we'll be referring to the blue numbers in the prayer book, which are the ones in the parentheses. Hine matov, how wonderful it is for us to be together and to celebrate.
Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad.
And Rachel, we're going to invite your parents up to help you as you put on your talit formally for the first time. So Rachel, this is a very precious garment. In fact, it is, in our tradition, the only Jewish garment that exists. And what makes it special are the wraps and the ties and the knots. Because when you add them all together, they work out to be 613. And 613 is a number of mitzvot, or opportunities or commandments that we have to make our lives special and wonderful and sacred. And so, we'll ask you to hold the talit for Rachel as she'll say the blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech ha'olam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lihit al tev v'tzitzit.
Excellent. Okay. And so we're going to turn together to page 193, and we're going to ask Rachel's uncle, Jared, to share a reading.
May the one whose spirit is with us every righteous deed be with all who work for good humanity and bear the burden of others, and who give bread to the hungry, who clothe the naked, and take the friendliness into their homes. May the work of their hands endure, and may the seed they sow bring abundant harvest.
And we turn together to page 192, and we join in Matovu.
Matovu ohalecha Yaakov, ohalecha Yaakov, mishkenotecha Yisrael. Matovu ohalecha Yaakov, משכנותיך ישראל, ואני ברוב חסדך אבוא ביתך, אשתחווה אכל קודשך ביראתך. מה טובו אוהליך יעקב, אוהליך יעקב, משכנותיך ישראל.
Turn to page 194. Praise to you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who formed the human body with skill, creating the body's many pathways and openings. It is well known before your throne of glory that if one of them be wrongly opened or closed, it would be impossible to endure and stand before you. Blessed are you, Adonai, who heals all flesh, working wondrously. Baruch atah Adonai, Rofi kol batzer umafli la'avsot. Turn to page 197.
Elohai, Elohai, Neshama, Shenatata bi Tehorai, Ata ve'arta, Ata ve'yitzarta, Ata nefachta bi, ve'ata mishamra, mishamra mikirbi, Elohai, Elohai, Neshama, Shenatata bi Tehorai.
Matter is never destroyed, only transformed. So, too, can the soul evolve higher and higher, from instinct to inspiration, haughtiness to holiness, selfishness to service, from individualism to union, to join with soul of souls, the infant one. As soul is magnified and sanctified, so is the infant one exhaled. Turn to page 198.
We join in these one-line blessings, these blessings that thank God for our daily experience, and they were initially actually part of the morning routine. As somebody woke up in the morning, and what's the first thing you do in the morning?
Open my eyes.
Open your eyes, right. You open your eyes and you stretch, and then you put your feet on the ground, and then you get yourself dressed, and all of those other things. And if you look through these blessings, they actually will detail that process. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan l'sachvi vina lahavchin ben yom uven laila. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam pokeach ivrim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam matir asurim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam zokef kefufim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam rakah haaretz al hamayim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamechin mitzadei gaver. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam malbish arumim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hanoten li'arev koach. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam המעביר שינה מעיניי, ותנומה מעפעפיי. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, שעשני בצלם אלוהים. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, שעשני בן חורין. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, שעשני ישראל. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, עוזר ישראל בגבורה. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, עוטר ישראל בתפארה.
I am a Jew because the faith of Israel demands no abdication of my mind. I am a Jew because the faith of Israel requires all the devotion of my heart. I am a Jew because in every place where suffering weeps, the Jew weeps. I am a Jew because at every time when despair cries out, the Jew hopes. I am a Jew because the word of Israel is the oldest and the newest. I am a Jew because Israel's promise is the universal promise. I am a Jew because for Israel, the world is not complete. We are completing it. I am a Jew because for Israel, humanity is not created. We are creating it. I am a Jew because Israel places humanity and its unity above nations and above Israel itself. I am a Jew because humanity, image of the divine unity, Israel places the unity which is divine.
And we turn together to page 204 as we join with Rachel in our blessing for study and for worship.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech ha'olam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'chadzot b'divrei Torah. O Adonai, our God, let the words of Torah be sweet in our mouth and the mouths of your people Israel, so that we are descendants and descendant of your people Israel. May you know by studying your Torah for its own sake. Blessed are you, Adonai, who teaches Torah to your people Israel. Turn to page 212. Blessed is the one who spoke, and the world came to be. Blessed is the one. Blessed is the one who continually utters creation. Blessed is the one whose words is deed. Blessed is the one who decrees and fulfills. Blessed is the one who is compassionate towards the world. Blessed is the one who is compassionate towards all creatures. Blessed is the one who rewards the reverent. Blessed is the one who exists for all time, never enduring. Blessed is the one who redeems and saves. Blessed is God's name. With songs of prayer we extol you and proclaim your sovereignty, for you are the source of life in the universe. One God, life of the universe, praised and glorious ruler. Your name is eternal. Baruch atah Adonai, melech mechula b'tishbachot. We continue on page 214.
Mizmor Shir L'Yom HaShabbat, a psalm for Shabbat, a time to welcome Shabbat and celebrate Shabbat in our lives, and certainly on this special day.
Mizmor Shir L'Yom HaShabbat, Tov lehodot l'Adonai, Uzamer l'Shimcha Elyon, Uzamer l'Shimcha Elyon. Mizmor Shir L'Yom HaShabbat, Tov lehodot l'Adonai, Uzamer l'Shimcha Elyon, Uzamer l'Shimcha Elyon. Lehagid b'boker chazdecha, ve'emunatecha b'leilot, alei asur v'alei navel, alei higayon v'chinor. Mizmor Shir L'Yom HaShabbat, Tov lehodot l'Adonai, Uzamer l'Shimcha Elyon, Uzamer l'Shimcha Elyon.
We turn together to page,
220.
and we'll invite Rachel's uncle, Carl, to share a reading.
Even if our mouths were full of song as the sea, and our tongues full of joy in countless waves, and our lips full of praise as wide as the sky's expanse, and were our eyes to shine like sun and moon, even if our hands were spread out like heaven's eagles, and our feet swift like young deer, we could never thank you adequately, Adonai, our God and God of our ancestors, to bless your name for a 10,000th of the many myriads of times. You granted favors to our ancestors and to us.
We turn to page 225. You have my attention, which is tenderness beyond what I may say. I have your constancy to something beyond myself. The force of your commitment charges us. We live in the sweep of it, taking courage one for the other.
And we continue with Chatzi Kaddish on page 224. And Rachel's going to lead, or Jesse's leading this one?
Jesse.
Jesse's going to lead this one.
Yitgada v'yitgada shmei Rabbah.
Amen.
Ve'amad yivarach yirutei ve'amlich malchutei.
B'chayechon uvyomechon
Uvchaye decho beit Yisrael.
Bagala,
Uvizman kariv. Imeru. Amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevorach. Le'alam me'amaya. Yitbarach. Yitbarach v'yishabach. V'yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal. Shemei dekudusha.
Brichu.
Leila min kol birchata v'shirata.
Tushbechata v'nechemata. Damiran ve'alma.
V'yimaru. Amen.
We turn to page 226.
We rise for Baruch Hu, our call to worship.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch
Adonai HaMevorach. Le'olam va'ed.
We continue on page 228.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Yotzer or uvorei choshech. Osei shalom uvorei et hakol. Hameir la'aretz v'ladarim aleha barachamim. Uvtuvo mechadesh. B'chol yom tamid ma'aseh v'reishit. Ma'rabu ma'asecha Adonai. Kulam b'chochma asita. Malah ha'aretz kinyanecha. Titbarach Adonai Eloheinu ar shevach ma'aseh yadecha. Ve'al me'orei or she'asita yifa'arucha tzela. Or chadash al Tzion ta'ir. V'nizkeh chulanu mehera le'or'o. Baruch atah Adonai yotzer ha'me'orot.
We turn to page 231.
Sorry, we're going to page 229. You may be seated, and we're going to invite Rachel's grandparents, Carlton and Denise, forward to share a reading.
You are praised. Okay. Are you ready? You are praised who rolls out the rough, raw clay of the universe into delicate vessels of light, and from nothing at all we could proceed in a world that would turn old, a shimmering new creation right before our eyes, made at this moment, just for us. how much life reveals your presence, how much Torah unfolds from each new flower, from each new wave that breaks upon the sea. You are praised who forms the clay that cloaks our lives, delicate vessels which contain our light.
Now turn to page 231. Once or twice in a lifetime, a man or woman may choose a radical leaving, having heard Lech Lecha, go forth. God disturbs us toward our destiny by hard events and by freedom's now urgent voice, which explode and confirm who we are. We don't like leaving, but God loves becoming. Baruch atah Adonai, habocher ba'amo Yisrael ba'achavod. We turn to page 232.
Please rise.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem, Kevod Malechuto, Leolam Vaed. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha uvchol nafshecha uvchol meodecha vechayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavcha hayom alevavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlechtecha v'aderech Ushachbecha uvkumecha, ukshaktam laot al yadecha, vechayu letotefot bein einecha, uchtavtam al mizuzot beitecha, uvisharecha. Leman tiskeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai, v'yitem kedoshim lelochechem, ani Adonai Elohechem, asher hoteiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, lechiot lachem le'elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem.
Adonai Elohechem emet.
We continue on page 239.
Please be seated.
The eternal truth, that is, you alone are God, and there is none else. May the righteous of all nations rejoice your love and exalt your justice. Let them beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Let nations not lift up the sword against nation, nor learn war any more. You shall not hate your brother or sister in your heart. The stranger that sojourns with you shall be accepted as your equal. For you were strangers in the land of Egypt. Why do you crush my people and oppress the poor? Asks God. We know that the Eternal One defends the poor and upholds the right of the needy. Praise to God Most High. Blessed is God and deserving of blessing. We turn to page 240.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot, osefele, osefele.
We continue on page 362.
No. No. What's the other page number? We continue on page 242.
We continue on page 242.
Adonai sifatai tiftach lefi agid tehilatecha. Adonai, open our lips, that our mouths may declare your praise.
Adonai sivatai tiftachu fi agita hilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chazdei Avot v'imahot, Umevig Ula Livnei V'neihem, L'ma'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Maged, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol Atah V'Hoshia, Morid Hatad. Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed, Mechayeh HaKol Barachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim V'Rofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Bal Gevurot, Umido Melach, Melech Memit, Umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah l'hachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol. Nekadesh et shimcha ba'olam, Keshem shemakdishim oto b'shmei marom, kakatuv ayad neviecha, v'kara zel ze ve'amar, Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzevaot, Melech Haaretz Kevodo. Adir, Adirenu, Adonai, Adonenu, Madir Shimcha b'chaaretz. Baruch Kevod Adonai Mimkomo. Echad hu Eloheinu, hu Avinu, hu Malkeinu, hu Moshienu, v'hu Yashmienu, v'rachamav le'nei kol chai. Ani Adonai Elohechem, Yimloch Adonai le'olam, Elohayich Tzion, le'tor v'ador, Hallelujah. Le'dor v'ador nagid God lecha, Unetzach netzakim kedushatcha nakdish, v'shivchacha Eloheinu mipinu lo yamush, le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
We turn together to page 250 as we join in Vishamru, thanking God for this opportunity to celebrate Shabbat. Please be seated.
Vishamru
V'nei
Yisrael
et
HaShabbat.
Woo!
La'asot et HaShabbat le'dorotam berit olam.
Vishamru v'nei Yisrael
Shabbat. Lasot et ha-Shabbat. Ledorotam berit olam. Beni uvein b'nei Yisrael. Oti leolam. Oti leolam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat. La'asot et ha-Shabbat. Ledorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz ve'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat. La'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Uvayom hashvi'i Shavat vayinafash, Shavat vayinafash, Shavat vayinafash, V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat. La'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam.
Page 225. On this holy Shabbat, may we draw nearer to life, to peace, and to joy. May we find true rest, holiness in our deeds, worth in our study of Torah. Let us feed on the love of goodness. Let us drink from the love of goodness, restrain our thirst for excess, and cleanse our hearts to serve life well. On this holy Shabbat, may we draw nearer in life, in peace, and in joy. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otcha levadcha b'yirah na'avod. Page 256. We acknowledge with thanks that you, Adonai, our God, and the God of our ancestors, are forever. You are the rock of our lives and the shield of our salvation in every generation. Let us thank you and praise you for our lives, which are in your hand, for our souls, which are in your care, for your miracles that we experience every day, and for your wondrous deeds and favors at every time of day, evening, morning, and noon. O God, O good one whose mercies never end, compassionate one whose kindness never fails, we forever put our hope in you. Page 258. Grant us peace, your most precious of gifts. O eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace and its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within our borders, health and happiness in our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among the inhabitants of our world. Plant virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praised are you, Adonai, who blesses your people with peace.
Sim shalom, tova uvracha, chen v'chesed v'rachamim aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, amecha.
Rachel, we've spent a lot of time with the prayer book, right? And it is filled with great prayers and thinking about lofty ideas and complicated language, right? And we've come to a moment in the service where I want all of us to close our eyes and leave the complicated texts aside and to look inside ourselves. Inside ourselves and have those intimate conversations, those things that you want to say or you want to think about and express to God. So let's close your eyes if you're comfortable doing that. and just spend a few moments in silent prayer.
יהיו לרצון אמרי פי והגיון ליבי לפניך אדוני צורי אדוני צורי וגלי.
We continue now with Seder Kriyat HaTorah, our Torah service, on page 362, and we invite Rachel's parents and grandparents forward, along with her brother, to open the ark.
אין כמוך ואלוהים אדוני, ואין כמעשיך, מלכותך מלכות כל עמים, וממשלתך בכל דור ודור. אדוני מלך, אדוני מלך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. Adonai oz lamoitain, Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom.
This Torah has been our foundation. It is said that when God created the world, God needed a blueprint. And the blueprint was, in fact, the Torah, because it provides us with strength and guidance and insights into so many aspects of our lives. And Rachel, this Torah comes to you through the hands of your congregation. Countless generations have celebrated, have read from it, have cherished it, have given it a home, and made it an important part of their lives as you do today. And so we pass this Torah to you. We pass it to you through the hands of your grandparents, your parents, and then to you, as you become the next link in this Shalshelet HaKabbalah, this inherited chain of Jewish tradition.
Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Haolam Omed, HaTorah ve'Avodah ve'Gemilut Chasadim, HaTorah ve'Avodah ve'Gemilut Chasadim.
Please be seated.
This morning I am reading from Parsha Bachar Behukotai, which is the very last Parsha in the book of Leviticus. The section I am reading will focus on commandments that relate to the land.
For the first Aliyah this morning, we call Jessica and Alan Maldet, Ta'amdu Leah bat Avraham v'Sarah, Yaakov ben Avraham v'Sarah la'Aliyah Rishon.
Baruch Hu Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach leolam va'ed.
Baruch Atah
Adonai Hamvarach
Olam
Leolam
Va'ed.
Va'ed.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amin v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Im behukotai telechu, ve'et mitzvotai tishmeru, vasitem otam, v'natati kishmechem ba'itam, v'natna ha'aretz yevula, v'etz hasadeh yitain piryo, v'hasig lachem dayish et batzir, uvatzir yasig et zara, va'achaltem לחמכם לשובע, וישבתם לבטח בארצכם.
Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam
Asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nota betochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
For our second Aliyah this morning, we call Rachel's sister, Ava Gardner, Ta'amod Pero Yocheved bat Hinda ve'Ephraim la'Aliyah Sheni. Sorry. No, wrong Hebrew name. Avda Aliza bat Nachum Bakalila. Try that one.
That's good. It's like this better. Okay.
So you start there.
Baruch Hu Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach leolam va'ed. Repeat that.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim. Right. V'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai notain haTorah.
Amen.
ונתתי שלום בארץ, ואכלו ושברתי, ושכבתם, ואין מחריד, והשבתי, היה רעה מן הארץ, והחרב לא תעבור בארצכם, ורדפתם את אויביכם לפניכם, לחרב, ורדפו מכם 500, ומאה מכם רבבה ירדפו, ונפלו אויביכם לפניכם לחרב. ופניתי עליכם, והפריתי אתכם, והרביתי אתכם, והקימותי את בריתי איתכם.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chaye olam notav b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
And for our third Aliyah, we welcome Paula Gardner via Zoom. We're going to ask you to unmute, and we're going to spotlight there, and you can say the blessing.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Chambrach Leolam Vaed.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. ואכלתם ישן נושן וישן מפני חדש תוציאו ונתתי משכני בתוככם ולא תגאל נפשי אתכם והתחלקתי בתוככם וחייתי לכם לאלוהים ואתם תהיו לי לעם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים מהיות לכם עבדים ואשבור מוטות עולכם ואולך אתכם קוממיות.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chaye olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
And for our fourth Aliyah this morning, we call Rachel's parents, Greg and Lauren Gardner, Ta'amdu, Nahum ben Parol v'Avraham, Kalila Shalev, Bat Avraham v'Sarah, LaAliyah Revi'i.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvorah. Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Leolam Vaed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. ואם לא תשמעו לי ולא תעשו את כל המצוות האלה, ואם בחוקותי תמאסו, ואם את משפטי תגאל נפשכם, לבלתי עשות את כל מצוותי, לכפרכם את בריתי, אף אני אעשה זאת לכם. והפקדתי עליכם בחלה את השחפת ואת הקדחת, מחלות עיניים ומדיבות נפש, וזרעתם לריק זרעכם, ואכלוהו אויביכם, ונתתי פני בכם, וניגבתם לפני אויביכם, ורדו בכם שונאיכם, ונסתם ואין רודף אתכם.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'hei olam nato betoheinu. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
Amen.
And now we have the honor of calling our bat mitzvah, Rachel Gardner, Ta'amod habachura habat mitzvah, Rachel Tova bat Nachum v'Kalila Shalev lala'a chamishi.
Baruch hu et Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach leolam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Ve'im ad ele lo tishme'u li, v'yasafti liyasra etchem, shiva al chatotechem, v'shavarti et ge'on uzchem, v'natati et mishmechem kebarzel, ve'et artechem kanchusha, v'tem larik kochechem, ve'lo titein artechem, et yevula, ve'etz haaretz lo yitain piryo. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tocheinu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Here in the presence of Torah, we ask God for blessings of healing. Blessings of healing for all those who are in need. For those who are battling coronavirus, for those who have an illness of some other kind, whether it's an illness of mind, of body, of heart, of spirit. And so we mention in our congregation Greg Bennett, Michael Byron, Andrea Kempner Blake, Scott Gordon, Patricia Heibel, Michelle Wolf, Rebecca Gottlieb, Deborah Susan, Darlene Sharp, Berko Shervetsky, Zachary Jackson, Fred Kern, Carol Love, Dane Marcinowski, Stephanie, Luke, Trey, Abigail, and Charles Nobles, Cheryl Perry, Debbie Perry, Bob Bush, Molly Wolf, Peg Plowski, Fran Porras, David Renberg, Will Rosenthal, Carl Sion, Martha Snyder, Steve Tottleben, Timothy Tillman, Lorraine Wellington, Gary Williamson, and Matea Press. If others have a name to share, please share it in our sanctuary or please post it onto our chat box on our YouTube channel as we join together and ask God for blessings of healing for us all.
Avotenu mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the
to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach imotenu mekor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
For the honor of raising the Torah, we call Rachel's father Greg, and for the honor of Galila of helping to dress the Torah and hold the Torah, we call Alan and Joshua. Please rise.
Vizot HaTorah asher sam Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai b'yad Moshe. Lai 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 lai.
Please be seated. Rachel will continue now with the reading of the Haftarah, the additional sections that come to us from our prophets.
The Haftarah this morning comes from the book of Jeremiah, and this teaches us about the importance of believing in God.
And the blessing before the Haftarah, go ahead.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar b'nvi'im tovim, v'ratza b'divrechem hane'emarim ba'emet. Baruch atah Adonai Chabocher b'Torah, u'v'Moshe avdo, u'Yisrael amo, u'v'nvi'echa emet v'tzedek. Adonai uzi, uma uzi, nusi, b'yom tzara, elecha goyim yevo'u, me'afse, Aretz v'yomru ach sheker nachalu avotenu havel v'ein bam mo'il haya'aseh lo Adam Elohim v'hema lo avadim lechan hini modiem b'pa'am hazot odiem et yadi v'et gevurati v'yad'u ki shimi Adonai. How can human beings make gods? They are not gods at all. Therefore, I am letting them know, once and for all, I will make them know my might and power, and they shall know that I am called the Eternal. Judah's sin is inscribed with an iron pen, engraved with a diamond point on the tablet of their hearts and the horns of their altars, to remind the children of their altars and sacred poles, near leafy trees on high hills. I will give your wealth and all your treasures as spoil to a country bumpkin, the Ha'arite, because of your sin of your high places throughout your borders. You yourself will lose the heritage I gave you, and I will make you serve your enemies in a land you do not know. For you have kindled the flame of my wrath to burn a long time. Thus says the Eternal One, cursed are those who trust in mortals, making mortal flesh their strength, turning their hearts from the Eternal. They shall be like a tree in the desert, never seeing when good comes, dwelling in dry places in the wilderness, in a salt land where no one dwells. Blessed are those who trust in the Eternal, whose trust is in the Eternal. They shall be like a tree planted near water, sinking its roots by a watercourse, never noticing when the heat comes, its leaves green, careless of time of drought, never failing to bear fruit. The human heart is of most things most deceitful, so perverse. Who can understand it? I, the Eternal, search the hearts and test the spirits, giving to all according to their ways, according to the fruit of their doings.
And the blessing after the reading of the Haftarah.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam tzor kol haolamim Sadik bechol hadorot ha'el ha'ne'eman ha'omer ve'oseh hamdaber umkayem shekol divarav emet v'tzedek al haTorah v'al ha'avodah v'al hanvi'im v'al yom ha'shabbat hazeh shenatat lanu Adonai Eloheinu likdusha v'limnucha lechavod ultif aret al hakol Adonai Eloheinu anachnu modim lach umvarchim otam yitbarach shimcha b'fi kol haytamid le'olam va'ed Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat.
Amen. We're going to invite Rachel's parents forward to share some thoughts.
So yesterday when Rabbi gave, sorry. You did great. Okay. So yesterday when Rabbi gave his sermon, I thought it was interesting because he kind of stole the words right out of my mouth, because when I think of you, I think of somebody who's little, but somebody who's very strong. And over the past 4 weeks, but also over your entire life, you've proven that time and time again, that anything you put your mind to, you can achieve. And I'm so proud of you and all the hard work that you put in, and your kindness, and your silliness, and your strength are traits that are going to serve you well in life and serve you well as a Jewish person and a Jewish adult. And I love you so much.
That was great. Good job. Rachel, you're a girl of subtleties and few words. So to see you practice privately this last month or so and this past year has been one thing, but to see you perform today has been incredible. It's a completely different avenue. I am very proud of you as well to see you to do this. My favorite tradition in the Jewish faith is when we take the Torah out and we pass it from generation to generation, from my grandparents to your grandparents to now myself and Mom to you. And what that means is now that you're an adult, you get to create your own Jewish identity going forward. And your own Jewish faith going forward here. And I'm looking forward to one day seeing you pass the Torah on to your children and seeing what kind of Jewish life you'll have in your future. But we are so proud of you. You did a great job today.
How do you feel? Good. Sigh of relief, right? We've spent a lot of time over the last year or so. And beyond the studying and the fun Zooming and all of those other things and the challenges that we had, you were remarkably poised, taking everything in stride, right? This was not the plan. This was not the idea. You didn't plan to learn part of your Torah with somebody in another country, in Ottawa, Ontario, learning beautifully how to chant, and taking on that tradition of learning the way in which our people have presented this remarkable story, which is your story of strength. And as Mom talked about and Dad talked about, the remarkable person that you are becoming, the person with inner strength, with insight, with poise and grace. And so on this day, as you begin that journey towards the wonderful adult that we know you'll be, we ask for God's blessing in the ancient words of Torah. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha, may God always bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka, may God's presence be with you always, and may God be kind to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God always give you the beautiful blessings of health, happiness, and of peace. Amen. This is the very last portion in the book of Leviticus, the very last section, and so there is a tradition of saying a phrase, and the phrase is one that is perfect for you, because the phrase says, Chazak, Chazak, Venit Chazek. May we each and all of us go from strength to strength, and may we strengthen each other. So let's join together. Chazak, Chazak, Venit Chazek. And we thank God for allowing us to be here and to be able to celebrate with you and your whole family and close friends and everybody who's joining us via our live stream. And so we thank God for those moments with the words of Shehechianu. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higiyanu lazman hazeh. Amen.
My section has some different topics to it. I'd like to share two interesting parts. One part I found interesting was letting the land rest. I picked this section because I think we all can kind of relate to this over the past year. In a unique way, we have been forced to let the land rest to repair itself. People spent more time at home, which meant less cars on the road and less pollution in the air. My family went on many hikes during the pandemic. One of my favorite times was going to Panama Rocks. We got to explore the rocks and caves there. I like that we got to spend more times outdoors because I love nature. Another section I found interesting says that your actions have consequences, not only for you, but for anyone in your team you love. I'm a part of a few different teams. My teams are my family, gymnastics, or even school. I fight with my brother all the time, and we get each other in trouble a lot. Sometimes I can get into trouble even though I'm not always responsible for it. Even in gymnastics, the scores you get can not only impact where you place on the podium, but your team's overall score. At school, one student's actions can affect the whole class. I think this is an important lesson because the Torah teaches us how to be a good teammate. Celebrating my bat mitzvah means I have a bigger role in the Jewish community. Becoming a bat mitzvah is creating a sense of being my own person and starting to take responsibility for myself. I am now old enough to follow the commandments of the Torah and make good decisions for myself. For my bat mitzvah project, I chose to volunteer at EARS, Erie Rabbit Society. I picked EARS because it's run by volunteers and donations. I also picked EARS because I love bunnies. Ayers helps over 80 rabbits. They rescue rabbits that are abandoned or neglected. So I go once a week with my mom after religious school to clean cages or play outside in a fenced-in area with them. Another thing I like about Ayers is they use all the help they can get, so sometimes I bring friends. First, I'd like to say thank you to Miss Jessica Maudette, Edie Joseph, and Mr. J. Kaler, my teachers throughout the religious school. Miss Jessica taught me how to read and write in Hebrew, with a lot of different ways to remember them. Some I still remember. Thank you. Thank you to Miss Edie because she taught me a lot of the prayers that I recited today. They were really helpful for today. Thank you to Mr. J because he was my teacher this year, and he taught a lot of interesting topics that I haven't known already. Next, I'd like to thank Miss Sue Potchkin, who taught me to chant my Torah portion and the blessing after the Haftarah. I did start my lessons with Sue and Josie, who were previously had her bat mitzvah, and both had to listen to me struggle. Even though I got a hang of the trope sheet music, and it all got easier when I could remember the tune. Miss Sue has always helped me in every way. Even when she was tutoring students all day, she would make time for me. And even when I couldn't attend a lesson, we found time to reschedule. I'd like to give a big thank you to Rabbi. He's been working with me since the summer of 2020. I used to only practice once a week right before my lesson, but now I have found it easier to practice more before my lesson. He definitely helped me through a lot of these times. By my first lesson using the real Torah, I was very confident. Lastly, I'd like to thank my parents. They've pushed me. They've pushed me further than I would ever have pushed myself these past few weeks. My mom has had me practice every day, and although it helped, I'd rather be on my phone or go through a bike ride if it was warm enough. They made me want to punch them sometimes. But I will always love them. There have been a few tears imagining giving a speech because I hate speeches. Just talking in front of people makes me nervous. Not really just talking, but I'm really quiet. I hated the idea of even writing a speech. But when my mom helped me get started, it really wrote itself. I love you both so much, and thank you for all the support over the years. Shabbat Shalom, and thank you for being here, whether you are in person or online. I really appreciate it.
Hey, Rachel, come here. We're not done just yet. But you are remarkable. And I know that giving a speech is not your favorite thing, but the most important thing is that you speak from the heart, which you did, which just makes it beautiful. Okay? I'd like to invite Janice Whitmer's who is the president of our congregation, to present you with some goodies.
Can I give you a hug?
You did wonderful. Yashikoa. Mazel tov to everybody in your family. I've said this before, and this is definitely like one of the best things about being president. It's just the opportunity to see you and to give these gifts. You're our future, and it's just such a pleasure. One of the, not especially in the last year, I don't know you very well. I don't know your classmates very well. And so to give it a personal thing, what I've been doing is I've been talking to people who do know you, your teachers and other people. I said, tell me a little bit about Rachel, something I can share. So I love this. So I'm going to share a few things that several different people have told me. And it says a lot of the same kinds of things I've heard here, and it just paints a nice picture of you. So one person said, I really, really, really like Rachel. I just think that's just so nice. She is such a nice girl. She's very kind, considerate, just a really great kid. So it's nice to know that one of your teachers that says things like that to you, somebody who's there. And you hear the same kind of things. So when I know it's captured the real you, because someone else said to me, Rachel is very sweet. A quiet girl, but very sweet, who is learning her place in Jewish life. And that gives, to give even more of a well-rounded description, I'll bring you my notes because this is what they've said. They said that Rachel is very athletic and has competed in state gymnastic tournaments. And I think that also says not just the gifts and talents you have, but how hard you work. And you saw that today, how hard you work to make use of what you have. And then, and this turned out to be very true, the person said, I am so sure that she will perform her bat mitzvah in a terrific manner. And that obviously came true. So that was someone who had such faith in you and obviously not warranted. So these all paint a picture of just a kind, generous person with unique talents, and that you take advantage of those talents. So Rachel, congratulations today. Mazel tov. Take a lot of pride in what you've accomplished and more in just a very special, kind person you are. So it's truly my honor to give you these gifts on behalf of the temple. This is a Kiddush cup from the temple. And also we have here a gift certificate. This is a $250 gift certificate for a trip to Israel. And then this is your bat mitzvah certificate. Congratulations, you did wonderful. Mazel tov to the whole family.
We'd like to invite Jessica Maldet, representative from the Jewish Community Council of Erie.
On behalf of the Jewish Community Council of Erie, we want to wish you and the whole Gardner family a hearty mazel tov. This is super special for me because I love you guys so much. So anyway, and I'm just, okay, I know. Okay, so Rachel, I already know that I don't have to tell you how important Jewish education is because you're gonna do it. What? It's right here. Okay, you have this I Am Jewish book. I don't have to listen to a man. Okay, and on behalf of your bat mitzvah, a tree was planted in Israel. And then this is the, upon completing your education, it's sealed, you will receive $5,000 for a trip to Israel, which I know you'll take advantage of with my son over there. You guys can go together. So, anyway. But yeah, we, Jewish Community Council, or Jewish JCC of Erie, we're really lucky that we have such a small community because we're able to give these, the elaborate, funding to go to Israel. And we just take your education very seriously, and I know you do. So anyway, and I love you, and you're so bright and beautiful, and mazel tov.
We turn now to page 374 as we return the Torah to the Ark. Yehalalu et Shem Adonai ki nishgav shemo levado. Let us praise the name of Adonai, for God's name alone is exalted. Please rise.
Shamayim vayarem keren le'amo tehila l'cho chasidam livnei Yisrael am karovo. Hallelujah, hallelujah.
Ki lekach tov natati lechem, torati al ta'azovu. Et chaim hi lamachazikim ba. It is a tree of life to those who hold it fast.
Et chaim hi lamachazikim ba v'tomereha meushar dracheha darchei noam v'chon tivoteha shalom. Hashivenu Adonai elecha v'nashuva charish yameinu charish yameinu kekedem.
We remain standing as we continue with Aleinu on page 586.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, latet gedola leotzer bereshit, shelo asanu kegoye haratzot, velo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam. V'anachnu korim, umishtachavim umodim, lifnei melech, malchei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu. V'nemar v'haya Adonai, lemelech al kol haaretz, bayom hahu, yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad.
Please be seated. So our thoughts turn now to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and of death. On this Shabbat, we recall the yard sites for Abraham DeRoy, Annie B. Goldstein, Philip Green, Rose Lancet, Arthur Rosenberg, Seligman Strauss, Sam Rosenbaum, Eli Sobel, Simon Bernstein, Eugene Goldschmidt, Ruth Blick Silver, Arthur Schuster, Abraham Lucas, Samuel Silverstein, Emil Bernheimer, Faye Oppenheimer Davis, Anna Shodnowski, David Luries, and Shirley R. Brown. If others have a name they wish to share, please share it here in person or via our live stream chat box as we take the memories of all those who we have depended on, those who have been part of our lives, and those on whose shoulders that we stand. And we turn to the words of Kaddish on page 598. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, ba'alma divrach rutei v'yamlich marchutei, b'chayechon uvyomechon uvchayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala v'zman kariv v'imru, amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach la'alam u'larmei armaya, v'yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yithalev v'yithalal shemei dekudsha barichu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechamata, damiran bi'alma v'imru, amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shamaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Janice, do you want to do announcements? Great. They're right there.
Okay, so announcements. Okay, well, first of all, services this weekend are memory of Shirley R. Brown and Eugene Goldschmidt. May their memory always be for a blessing. Then, that's not us here. Owning Shabbat's not an announcement, down here.
Yeah.
Okay, so happy Mother's Day to everybody. Tomorrow is Mother's Day, so to all the mothers both here and at home, happy Mother's Day. And because it's Mother's Day, there are no Gesher classes or no Gesher Hebrew, so that you can spend time with your mother. So please make sure you all do something good with your mothers tomorrow. And on Tuesday is the Talk Amongst Ourselves program. And those are really awesome. You should go to one if you haven't. And this one sounds really exciting to me. It's the Jerusalem Day Tour of Jerusalem. And we're going to actually, via Zoom, get a tour of Jerusalem. So I'm looking forward to that. And it says continued on the next page. Oh, and other exciting things coming up. Beginning Memorial Day weekend. I'm really excited for this too. Hope for weather, good weather. There's always weather. But hope for good weather on Friday, May 28th at 6:15. Our Shabbat services will be outside at our patio, and we're welcoming people to come and gather in person. So that'll be a really nice special thing. And there will also be a lunch, but I don't have the information here in front of me on.
So it's on Sunday, the 23rd of May, which is also last day of Gesher and Mitzvah Day. So
Okay.
we'll join together for a lunch sponsored by the JCC of Erie. And it's from Habibi, and it'll be a vegetarian lunch that you can either pick up, or if it's nice, we can kind of picnic around the grounds of Temple, which will be lovely. And we need to have your reservations by the 17th. So please, if you want to participate, please call the office and make those arrangements.
And thanks to the JCTC for helping to sponsor that.
Yes, lovely. So we're going to invite Rachel and her family forward as we continue with our closing song and final blessings.
Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. It is a tree of life to them who hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. It is a tree of life to them that hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom.
together in Kiddush. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. And Rachel?
I'll take a sip.
Josh, just step down. Okay. Rachel, let's join together in Motzi. Motzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread.
Thanks, God.
Our voices rise in song together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Mazel tov.
Good night, everyone.
Thanks so much.
Shabbat shalom, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Stay safe. We'll see you soon.
Bye, baby.
Mazel tov.